Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a real head-scratcher today, the death of Chuck Morgan.
Yeah, this one's got all the makings of a classic mystery.
Officially, it was ruled a suicide back in '77, but the details, let's just say they don't exactly add up.
No, not at all. It's those contradictions that really make this case so fascinating.
Right off the bat, we've got Chuck going missing for a few days in March of '77.
Right.
And when he turns up,
Ugh, gets weird. Handcuffs, missing a shoe, claiming someone painted his throat with, get this, a hallucinogenic drug.
like, who does that? You'd think the first thing you'd do is call the cops.
Exactly. But Chuck, he refused. Absolutely insisted that going to the police would put his family in danger.
And get this, he whispers to his wife that he's a secret government agent, working against organized crime, no less.
Wow.
So we're already dealing with a missing person case, possible assault, and now a potential secret agent in 1970s Arizona.
Arizona back then was a hotbed for, well, let's just say shady financial dealings.
Yeah.
The laws were pretty loose, making it a prime spot for money laundering.
Yeah, one article I read mentioned hundreds of mobsters flocking to Arizona because of it. That's got to create a tense atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of volatility, a lot of people looking to make a quick and often illegal buck.
And this is where Chuck's profession comes in. He worked in real estate escrow.
Right. And for those who don't know, escrow is basically the middleman in a transaction. They hold the money, often large sums of it, making sure everything goes smoothly.
So with all this mob activity, especially in real estate, someone in escrow would be right in the thick of it.
Exactly. So the big question is, was Chuck just an innocent businessman caught in a bad situation?
Or was there something more to his claims of being a secret agent?
Was it paranoia? Or was he really playing some kind of double game?
And these early events, they set the stage for what happens next. Chuck's second and unfortunately final disappearance. Just 9 days after he comes back, his wife gets a call.
A really creepy call. From this mysterious woman just quoting a Bible verse, Ecclesiastes 12.1-8.
Okay, weird, but maybe a prank call. Wrong number.
Maybe. But then, 2 days later, Chuck's body is found.
And the scene. Well, it's not your typical suicide. He's got a gunshot wound to the back of the head.
But he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
There's also a note with directions to the body. It seems to be in his handwriting.
And, to top it off, they find sunglasses don't even belong to him.
It's like someone wanted to make it look like something it wasn't, almost staged.
It definitely raises more questions than it answers. Why the bulletproof vest if you're going to shoot yourself? Why leave a note leading to your own body? Something's not right here.
It's like a puzzle with half the pieces missing. And to make things even more complicated, we've got Chuck's involvement in real estate escrow right at the height of mob activity in Arizona.
Oh yeah, you can't ignore that connection. Could he have stumbled onto something? Some information, a transaction, something that made him a target for these organized crime figures?
It's possible. He was dealing with a lot of money, maybe even gold bullion, platinum, stuff like that. I read those were common ways to launder money back then.
Right. And then there's the whole secret agent thing. What if it wasn't just paranoia? What if he really was undercover?
Working to bring down these mob operations, and maybe somehow his cover got blown.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was so afraid to go to the police, worried about retaliation, not just against him, but against his family, too.
He's snuck in a dangerous game, trying to play both sides.
And that can be deadly, especially when you're dealing with the mob. They don't take betrayal lightly.
Speaking of dangerous games, we have to talk about Green Eyes. This mysterious woman who calls Chuck's wife and the police, quoting that same Bible verse.
Ecclesiastes 12.1-8. Definitely not your average prank call.
Right. What was she trying to do? Warn someone, send a message. Was she involved somehow or just a witness caught in the crossfire?
She claimed to have met Chuck at a motel, saw a briefcase full of cash, heard Chuck say it was to buy him out of a mob hit.
So he knew his life was in danger, but who was Green Eyes in all of this? An ally? A manipulator?
Hard to say. But those calls, quoting that specific Bible verse, it's just too deliberate to ignore, like she was trying to tell us something.
And then we've got those two men show up at Chuck's house after his death, claiming to be FBI agents.
Yeah, that's a strange detail. If Chuck was an informant, you'd think they'd want to keep that quiet.
Unless they were looking for something. Something Chuck might have had. Something important enough to risk being exposed.
It's possible, but officially, the FBI denies any involvement with Chuck.
So were these guys really FBI? Or imposters? Maybe even connected to the mob, trying to clean up loose ends?
It's another twist in an already convoluted story. We've got the official ruling of suicide, but the circumstances, they just scream foul play.
Was he a victim of circumstance? Or a pawn in some bigger game between the government and organized crime?
Or maybe something else entirely. We've got Chuck's involvement in real estate escrow, the possible mob connection, the claims of being a secret agent.
And then you've got the cryptic messages, the bizarre death scene, the mysterious green eyes. It's a lot to unpack.
We have to look at all of it, every detail, every inconsistency. That's the only way we're going to get close to the truth.
It's a mess, that's for sure. But there's one piece of evidence we haven't really dug into yet. That $2 bill they found on Chuck.
Oh, yeah. Tucked away in his underwear? Covered in his handwriting? Like some kind of coded message?
7 Spanish names, all in alphabetical order. Contacts, informants, enemies, who knows?
And then, right there with those names, a reference to Ecclesiastes 12. Same book, same chapter that Green Eyes quoted. Too much of a coincidence, right?
Hard to believe it's not connected somehow. Was it a signal? A warning? What about those specific verses marked on the bill, 1 through 8? Any significance there?
It's like he was trying to leave clues,
Yeah.
but in a language we don't understand.
And on the back, a rough map. Looks like an area between Tucson and Mexico, known for smuggling, right?
Yeah, that whole region was a hotbed for illegal activity. Drugs, weapons, people, anything you could think of.
So was Chuck meeting contacts down there? Maybe even involved in something himself?
It's not out of the question. And the map, it names 2 towns, Robo's Junction and Salacity. Ever heard of them?
Can't say I have. Maybe they're just small towns, or maybe they're part of the code, too. Another clue for someone who knows how to read it.
And don't forget, we've got our listeners chiming in with their own theories. Some folks think the map might be Argentina, not Arizona. Others are looking into those Spanish names, seeing if they match up with police officers in Nogales. It's amazing to see everyone putting their detective hats on.
So where does that leave us? We've got theories, we've got evidence, but no clear answers. Was Chuck Morgan an innocent, caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? A secret agent who got in too deep? Or something else entirely?
We might never know for sure, but that's the thing about unsolved mysteries, isn't it? They keep you guessing. They make you think. Even without a definitive solution, there's something satisfying about just digging into the details, exploring the possibilities.
We've gone down some rabbit holes with this one, that's for sure. Shined a light on a dark corner of Arizona's history. We've encountered shady characters, cryptic messages, conflicting stories, and a whole lot of unanswered questions.
It's a reminder that sometimes, even when you search for the truth, some things remain hidden.
But hey, that shouldn't stop us from trying. And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be the one to crack the code.
So to everyone listening, keep those theories coming. Keep digging into the source material and never lose that curiosity. That's what keeps these cold cases alive, and that's what keeps us coming back for more.
Until next time, folks, stay curious.